Good evening. I'm Warren Buffett, Chairman of Berkshire, and I'm delighted to be with you even via this remote method. In fact, I'd probably be even more delighted to be with you personally in Jamaica, because I'm sure it's a whole lot more comfortable and warm there than it is in Omaha, where I'm speaking from. Been 2 years since I talked to the Brock Group, and since then, of course, there have been a lot of changes. We've expanded the operation considerably with the addition of Lamar, and of course, there's nothing more fundamental than grain storage, and actually we move a fair amount of grain on our Burlington Northern Railroad, so Berkshire has a big interest in grain. I've got a big interest in agriculture, not quite as big as my son. He is never happier than when he's on a tractor, even if it's at midnight at night. And he recently came out with a book called 40 Chances, which tells a lot about him and farming. I hope you get a chance to read it. And now that I've given a plug for him, I'd like to talk a little bit more about Brock. Obviously, it's a key part of CTB. It is a lot bigger now than when we acquired the company, CTB, a dozen or so years ago, but it's going to be a whole lot bigger in the future. Grain has an almost unlimited potential, and our products, I keep hearing from my son, are really top of the line. And it's now been this dozen years since Berkshire acquired CTB. I was a reluctant bride at the time, as you may remember. I thought the CTB operation was a little small for Berkshire at the time. And then Vic came over, and any of you who have been the subject of Vic's persuasive powers knows what he can do. So he came to this very room I'm in as I talk to you, and in an hour or so he convinced me that though CTV might be a little small at the time, that it was going to be built into a much larger operation, and that it would be one of the gems of Berkshire. And Vic has done just that. The company has expanded dramatically in size in the Brock division particularly, but I can tell you the best is yet to come. I'm 83 years old now, so I've only got another 20 or 30 years left, but I expect to see a much larger CTB, with Brock being a key reason for that growth. So let me come back in a couple more years and we'll talk about the growth that's taken place since 2014. And in the meantime, have a great time in Jamaica while I'm up here shivering. Thanks.